We're good.
Okay, so you have a Rancilio Z9. It's an LE, which stands for lever. My favorite machine. It's quiet, it makes the best espresso, and that's it. So I'm going to go over it. First off, I guess you're going to plug it in, right? You plug it in, it's pretty simple. It's a 220 plug. Your electrician or in your kitchen, you'll probably have something available. And down here is to the water supply. It's a pretty typical fitting. It's a 5/8 shutoff valve. I recommend having a shutoff valve instead of doing it hard, and that way you can turn it off and everything. Just twists on with the compression fitting. It's pretty easy. The machine should be fed the water before you plug it in, just because, just in case the boiler is empty, you don't want to heat air. Automatically it fills and then stops at a point. You can see here in the sight glass, the water is up to here. You might not be able to see it in the video, but it'll just touch this little diode in here and stop it from feeding anymore. So you don't have to check your levels very often at all, because it does it automatically. And if it does malfunction, you can always do it manually. This is a manual water fill knob. You just push it to the right. But you probably won't have to do that. Anyway, okay, so this is your steam. Every control is a spring valve, which means you don't have to keep on twisting. It's a simple on and then off. You could keep on twisting, but that's just going to wear the thread. So just like everybody should know, all these three knobs are the exact same. It's like, so this is the steam. Comes out, we'll steam some milk here in a minute. That's it. And this is your hot water, which don't have a cup underneath. Hot water, it sputters on every machine, so make sure you be careful. It's really hot water. Okay, so that's that. These are a little stiff because I put new gaskets in everything, so everything will get a little looser. And this is your group head. Like, I'm sure you guys have made coffee before. It's good. It's recommended you keep the portafilters in there, keeps them warm. There's less of a shock for the coffee, you know. So the ones that you have extra, maybe store them up on top of the machine. If you have a lot of cups and it's a cold day, you can use the steamer. Basically, steams the whole top to get the cups warm. I never use it because it's hot enough just being there, but it's something to have. What else about the machine? It's oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so yes, this is your gauge for your pressure and your temperature. Now there's an indicator here. If you can see it, it's green, and that's where your pin should be. If it's dropped down below that, you're not going to be able to get the proper temperature to extract the nice amount of oils out of the coffee. So if it's above, then you've got to adjust the thermostat. Mostly the only reason this would be down is because you're using it so much that the cold water in the boiler is keeping the temperature down. But if you have it going past the green, you do want to go into the machine and change the temperature. And how you do that is it's kind of tricky because it's on a clip. So you pull this way, and then you pull that way. So there's these little nubs that click in to these places here. So just be careful. It's really strong. You have to pull really hard. Now, you can barely see it here, but this is your pressure stat here. And like recommended, if you're changing the temperature, unplug it so that you're not going to chance electrocuting yourself, because it is 220, it could hurt. There's a little thing here which you can't see because of the lighting, but I'm going to show you on an example here. Basically, this is like this, and there's a knob that you can grab with your fingers.
Hold on 1 second, let me get it better. There we go.
So with your fingers, if it's clockwise, temperature up, counterclockwise down. I recommend trying just a few notches, because you can feel there's a little friction there.
It's in Italian?
Yeah, it's in Italian. So go down 2 notches, check your temperature, wait a second.
How long does it take to
Well,
adjust?
what you could do is just use the steam, like get this pressure off, and then wait. That way, it's like it drops down, then goes back up, and you'll know.
So you manually lower the temperature of the machine by running the steamer?
Yeah, you do it yourself. Yeah, or
Okay.
or put some cold water in it manually,
Okay.
just to sort of drop the thing down so you can see where it's going to stop.
Okay.
So, yeah, clockwise, temperature up, counterclockwise, down. So that's that. Putting it back together is the exact same way. Took it apart with a little bit of force. Clips in.
So there's just two compression pins here and here, and then two more
And one
here.
here.
Oh, there's only one
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Okay, so that's that. When you guys hook it up, you don't forget that you have to put, yeah, this is how this comes out. So you pull it, lift this out, because there's a lip here and a lip here that locks it in place so that it doesn't slide all over the place.
Got it.
You take the tray out. You can see under here there's a drip tray. Try to keep this clean. Maybe depending on how many coffees you make, check it once every couple weeks. And this goes to a drain. So a rubber hose, one clamp. It's not a pressurized pipe or anything, so it's pretty. This, obviously slides in and out so you can clean it. Put it in like that. Okay. And also, it is recommended when you're leaving it for the night, leave it plugged in. Just leave it plugged in all the time. The shock to the machine from cooling down and heating up again, it's less wear on the machine. The element will only turn on a few times that night. It's not a huge money thing. And because it's like all the gaskets are new, you can't. The only time you ever hear anything is when the boiler's kicking in. There's no leaks, so it should be fine.
Sweet.
Okay, and let's make a coffee. So these are the bottomless portafilters. They're like, compared to the others, you get a lot more space, right? Typically now we're making a lot more bigger coffees, and the only problem with those is that if you want to make two coffees at the same time, they're kind of convenient that way, but I think it's better if you just do one at a time. There's only a difference of a minute, so. Okay, so we got our bottomless portafilter, and I grind some coffee. I grind it fresh because it's fresher. You get that little bit of extra more taste. But you have to watch more carefully on how much you press it because it's so fresh that the oils are really sticky. If you let it off gas, it makes it a lot more consistent. Everything sort of neutralizes in the air, and you can be relatively non-caring about your packing.
So the fresher it is, the less you have to tamp it.
Mm-hmm.
So the fresher it is, the less you tamp
That's
it.
right. That's right. Or even the coarser the grind. You can adjust. Like there's those three different things, like those factors, like how hard you press, how coarse the grind is, and how fresh the actual coffee is.
Okay.
I know this coffee is quite stale, so I'm going to give it a lot of pressure. Typical shot should take like 27 seconds or around there. A shot on this is actually 2 pulls. So you got this, you got your cups, nice and warm. I always use a second hand because these are a spring. The biggest thing, I've had a friend get a black eye because he didn't know how to use it. So you've got to make unless you've been trained, don't use the machine. So I pull this down. It's quite a bit of arm pressure. Wait for about 2-3 seconds. The chamber's full, and then you let go. But you don't really let go. You don't really let go of the lever until the pressure's off. I should have packed it tighter because it's coming out a little fast. So I do it twice, and I'm noticing there's a little bit of water coming out. I should have cleaned the So when it comes out fast, you can see the difference in the crema. It's usually thinner, a lot more paler in color, right? If you do it, you pack it too tight or the grind is too fine, it's going to come out slower, and darker, and it's going to be bitter. So it's either sour on the fast side or bitter on the other. So it still looks good.
Oh yeah.
So what else? When basically this consistent, or as a visual, when you're making a good coffee, you could see this little, there's two colors in the actual pour. You can watch this little bead of coffee, and you can see there's two different colors. It's the crema and the actual espresso.
The crema being lighter.
Yeah, crema is light as a caramel stripe almost, and it's the perfect consistency or speed that it comes out is when it's called a mouse tail. So it's when drips turn to a stream, but a little bit more than that. It's not. So it's that's your gauge. So okay, now
Steam a little milk.
Should have actually done the milk first because it's proper to have the bubbles settle a little bit before you put it in. So if you do the milk first, let it sit, and then your coffee, it's all ready. So what I did there is just you clear it. It's all the condensed water is sitting in there. You want to push it out really fast before you put it in. Obviously, we want to leave room in the container because you're frothing it. It's going to increase in size. So I'm going to bury the wand into the milk, turn it on, and then back up towards the surface. And you don't want to go too far in, or because you're going to sputter and make the bubbles a bit too big.
You go too far in?
Or too far out. So I'm playing right at the edge of the surface. You're going to get used to the actual sound. Mm-hmm. And you can hear this the pitch is changing. And you don't want it to start to go like that. There's a heavy, deep sound.
Right.
You've gone too far. The milk's too hot. I wouldn't even serve it because it's going to burn them and it's not going to taste as good. Sometimes you can knock the bubbles a little bit if you want. Temperature-wise, it's a good gauge. Like a car, or like a Ferrari hood in the summer. If you touch the top of the car, it's 1, 2, 3. You have to take your hands off a little bit. So that's where I gauge my temperature. And it turns me off. There's these specialty coffee places everywhere, but sometimes they just heat the milk up too much.
Yeah, they scald
and I don't enjoy it.
It doesn't taste very good at all.
So, if you want a silky, there's two different ways to make foam. If you want your foam to be silky, you have to put it in a little bit more. The nozzle, bury it a little bit more. But if you want big bubbles, if you want to make a cappuccino with a huge
foam,
foamy thing,
you pull it out more.
You pull it out more and
okay.
Make bigger bubbles. So there's your coffee.
Delicious. And that's it.
That's it. Bye.